Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Pocket Change, your favorite part time resellers on a part time podcast. Sorry we missed another week, but life has got us moving in weird circles. Joel, how you doing? How was your last week and a half, 2 weeks?
Store on vacation. I did still manage to sell one item while on vacation, but I noticed something about
Nice.
vacation. It didn't sell. It would be a lot of looks and a lot of people putting it on watch, but I didn't sell anything till the second day before I came out of vacation. And I was like, "Huh."
Interesting.
I went back and looked, and it was one person who had been watching that item, and I sent over a discount, and they just didn't take advantage of it till that day. It's okay. I know it took you a while to decide if you wanted it or not, but I thought it might have something to do with actually being on vacation. So
Maybe.
interesting.
Yeah, I've been on vacation too. I sold 3 things this week, and I don't ship them. Excuse me. 28th of October.
Hmm.
It's the next day I got to ship.
So how long are you on vacation for? You're not on vacation now, right?
I'm on vacation. I'm on vacation, so I went home last weekend. So that's why we didn't have the podcast. You were on vacation. I went home. And then and then Sunday before I came back, I put myself on vacation until next Wednesday. So Thursday, Friday, I will be off vacation. There you go. Turn that off. And then yeah, sit in front of it. And then so that's what I'm doing. I'm home every 2 weeks. So I put myself on vacation for 13 days and hopefully sell some stuff. I've been listing books and stuff. So we'll see.
I have been a terrible person since I got back from vacation. I listed one day and I haven't listed since. I got to get back started doing that. I am back up to 155 items.
So somebody went to your eBay store and liked something while you were on vacation and you
I
sent them
sent
an
them an
offer.
offer.
Do you know that if they accept that offer, you have to ship it within your shipping window, whether you're on vacation or not? Do you quit? You quit working or what? I can't hear you at all. You're muted.
I get on mute. That's crazy.
I'm like, wait, I
Or
can't hear you. So do you know that if you're on
no, I
vacation
did not know that.
and you accept, you send an offer, if you are 2 days or 1 day shipping or 3 day shipping, if they accept that offer, you have to ship it within that time
Oh,
frame.
I did not know that. Okay.
So you got lucky they
I
didn't accept that.
did.
Even though you're on vacation, if you extend an offer and they accept it, it goes into the regular stream. So if you were a 2 day or 3 day shipping, you would have had to ship it within that time frame. Otherwise, you would have been without out of your thing. So be careful when you're on vacation. I've learned that.
I bet that would be a hard lesson to learn because you could really get
Yeah,
screwed over that. I did not know that. So that
it
is
was
something
was a hard lesson.
that is definitely something to know because folks, if apparently I've had quite a
Yes,
bit
I've got
activity today.
31 I have 31 right now eligible to send offers, but I'm not sending them because I can't ship them in 3 days. So I'll wait, and then that'll keep building up until Wednesday next week, and I'll send offers. And that'll give me 3 days, so I don't have to ship it till
I
Monday.
have been doing some of the free shipping stuff, increased the value and did the free shipping. And
All right.
that actually has worked. I'm not seeing an increase of sales, but I'm seeing a pickup of views. And the one that I actually sold, they sent me an offer to begin with, and I sent back an offer because I was like, no, I'm already giving you free shipping. So this is the best I can do. And so they actually bought it at what I sent back. But yeah, it's been interesting seeing how that's actually getting more traction. So maybe the free shipping going up on the cost and doing the free shipping is the way to go. One of the things
Yeah.
I don't like about eBay was I went and tried to edit a shipping policy or create a shipping policy where it would be free shipping with a handling cost. They will not let you do
All
that.
right.
eBay does not have a way. If you put free shipping, it blocks out the whole handling cost thing. So I'm like, really? That's crazy. Why can't I offer free shipping where I pay for it, but they pay? So while I did get around that a little bit by doing a flat rate cost on some items, In other words, I'm like, okay, this is going to cost $5 to ship. So you're going to give me like $2.49 for shipping. We're going to split the shipping cost. So we'll see how that's worked out. So far, that's not been that great. I think people are like, I don't think they really understand. I don't think buyers really understand how much shipping actually costs unless they see it. And it's kind of weird because if you see it there, you're seeing how much it's going to cost. But it's interesting to me, they would rather pay it built in and it say free shipping than to pay a split rate. You get what I'm saying? Like the items I've got split rates on, there's no views, there's no nothing. And it's not just the items.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but that would ultimately be cheaper.
Yes.
Because if I'm doing a standard cost of $10, $9.99 plus $2.49, so you're getting it for $1.50 plus your tax. But if I'm doing $9.99 and I'm going up $5, so now I'm going up to $14.99. It's more expensive. But it's interesting that the $14.99 has caught more attention and got more views than a similar, almost identical item with a split cost.
I haven't messed with my shipping.
Well,
but I'm going to.
I told our viewers 2 weeks ago that I'd be playing with it. So it's crazy to me because I would go ahead and buy it at $12.49, then buy $14.99 with free shipping.
Yeah, I've been playing with it too, but I wasn't going to talk about it here on the episode.
No.
Shipping. But
no. No, where you went with that. You're right. We're not going to dive into that one.
We'll talk about it here.
We're not going to dive into that one. We're not going to lay that out there just for the world to talk about. Anyway.
I've done good for sober October. I haven't been drinking. I've been drinking a lot of iced tea. I did go home for the weekend, and we met some friends that we were in from Michigan down at the beach, and everybody had a great time except for me. But I did break down, and I had 2 drinks. So all month I've had 2 drinks of alcohol. I said no, and then the guy's like, I bought this special. I'm like, all right, I have 1. And then I had the second one. Then I said no, more. So I want to be honest. I did have 2 drinks so far this month, which is, 672 drinks lighter than last month.
Good Lord. So what is the whole deal of sober October? So
just trying not to drink. I realized being here alone, I drink a lot more than I did when I wasn't here, when I was at home. Get off work, you come home, there's no one here. You can only watch Family Guy so many times. And finally, just like bored. So I've been drinking a lot. So I was like, I'm going to do sober October.
Okay, that works.
Yeah, I didn't need to, but I was trying it. I did good. It's the 19th.
2 drinks in a month.
I only got 1 more week to go.
I mean, that's unbelievable for you because usually if we're 2 hours into the month, you've already had 4.
Exactly. I suck. I was like, I thought it'd be hard. It wasn't. The hardest thing, I was trying not to chew tobacco. I wasn't as successful with that.
I honestly think that for most people, nicotine is more addictive than...
By far. Nicotine is the most addictive thing on the planet. Even more addictive than heroin because of availability. It is harder to quit nicotine than to quit heroin.
I'm not sure about that. I've never quit heroin before.
I've never quit heroin either, but I'm just saying that's...
Wait a minute, let me rephrase that. I've never done heroin before. I've never had to quit.
I think looking for a job, maybe get back to Tampa, but maybe not. I don't know. But I did find all these, like this one, they sell a lot of weed drinks. I haven't tried one yet. Because as soon as I try one, I'll probably get a job and then have to take a piss test.
Skunk?
I wouldn't think that would...
The stinky Mary Jane.
Yeah, pop. They have all these convenience stores have drinks in their alcohol section that are THC or CBD or whatever the heck it is.
Weed drinks.
Weed drinks. I'm pretty sure it just tastes... I'm sure it's just the drug put in with Kool-Aid or whatever. I don't know what it is. I haven't tried it. But once I get gainfully employed and don't have to worry about a drug test, I'm definitely going to check those out.
That sounds, and I know we're getting way off of eBay, folks, but that sounds eerily reminiscent of this. They told us that this would be better for us that this would not be as addictive, that this would be, and as it turns out, you're actually better off smoking than doing this. As it actually turns out, you're actually better smoking than putting, folks. So here's a bottle of, sometimes I have to drain off. I'll put too much fluid into it. I have to drain off. This is a bottle of what it looks like drained off. Now, this is almost a year old, but watch this.
Yeah, that's in your
You look
lungs.
at that. That is, as a technician, a certified technician, I can tell you that's pretty close to 10W30.
Yeah.
So
I do think, though, the Zen or Zio or whatever, which one of these, I think this is definitely better for you than chewing tobacco. Because for 2 weeks, I didn't chew tobacco, and I used that, and my mouth, everything tasted better. My teeth were cleaner. I definitely think I should quit to that. But
well,
I
am down to, I have been mixing the 0 and 3 for the last 6 weeks. I'm still doing that, but the plans are by January to be gone from this completely. So I'm weaning myself off, and it's actually interesting because I have now gotten to where I can forget about it. If I'm doing something and I'm engaged, I can forget about this. If it's sitting here in front of me and like we're talking, I'm going to be picking it up constantly the whole time we're talking. But eventually I'm going to get it to where it's completely out of my sight, and I'm getting to where I don't crave the nicotine.
Yeah, and the thing that killed me was driving. I was doing good until I had to drive home. It's just that habit of driving It's just, man, the little pouches weren't getting.
I used to smoke cigarettes, and I roll the window down, and that was just the thing, driving with the window down and smoking until a bird decided I was sitting at a stoplight, and a bird decided to take a major crap on my arm. And that kind of broke me from that. That was because I had to drive home. Oh, God.
Do you know what the white stuff in bird shit is?
I don't know.
It's bird shit. It's all bird shit.
Anyway, back to eBay. You sold some stuff so far? So have you had any comments?
I sold a belt buckle and
any
a couple
comments
cars.
of the week? Any buyers of the week? Or I guess we're going back to the last 2 weeks. So
comment of the week. Your order delivered on time with no issues. That's all I seem to be getting anymore. So you can see them. Those are the ones that they're put up by eBay.
I'm not getting those.
But you think you do. So if you go to your Seller Hub and you scroll down and look for the feedback, they show in there.
So Seller Hub.
But if I go to Seller Hub and go down, you'll see order
how do you
delivered
go
on
to your
time, no
Seller Hub?
issues.
Maybe I don't know where I'm going.
Go to eBay Selling, click on Selling, and then that's your Seller Hub.
Okay, yeah.
Now scroll down to the corner where it says feedback.
I don't have a corner that says feedback.
What? So you're in it says Seller Hub at
Yeah.
the top? CJ Ben, it says your name of your store. Then it has sales, orders, listings.
I've got overview, orders, listings, marketing, advertising, store, performance, payments, research, reports.
It is sales, orders, listings, advertising, traffic, seller level, feedback, shortcuts, selling tools.
I wonder if you've got a little bit different because interesting.
You got what
I got
level?
the beginning store level. I still got the beginning.
You got $4.95. Yeah, I'm at $50. I'm paying way too much.
Yeah, well, especially with where you're at right now.
Yeah, with 800 items listed. Yeah, I don't need that. But I missed the cancellation. We're going to cancel it last month, and I was like, oh, I need to do that and and then I missed it, and then I tried to cancel, and it's you have to pay for 6 months.
Okay,
go down.
And now I see what you're saying. Okay, so I'm in the overview.
You're just in the wrong freaking place.
Overview right now. Feedback. Yeah. Okay, yeah, order delivered on time with no issues. Yeah, that's the dumb one. That's the one that eBay does.
Yeah, but at least you can see it somewhere because you can't see. If you go to,
well, I think,
click on the feedback, it'll bring you to your actual feedback, and those are gone.
Yeah, I think they started putting that because before, when we were talking a few weeks ago and they started this new program, you weren't actually getting anything.
I think you were. You're just not getting anything if you go to look at your feedback. It's not there.
Okay, maybe you were.
It's only there. I'm sure it was there. We just didn't know where to find it. Because if I go to my feedback, those feedbacks are not there.
I will say this. So I got a couple feedback over the past. That's actual feedback. Good seller, fast shipping, good communication, product great condition, fast shipping, excellent packaging, perfect condition as described, great price, thank you. And then I get this one here. And I'm like, this is a customer who really did not understand what they were buying. Again, a very good experience. My only minor disappointment was that there was no electric illumination on the watch dial. I thought it was indigo capable, and it is not. But on the side, it implied it was because it's still a very good experience for me. No. Okay. So when you're buying a vintage, and I know what watch this is. This was a waterproof outdoor carabiner watch, clips on your thing. Okay, so this was from the 80s. It was a vintage one. So the Illuminous was not indigo, and I never said it was indigo. What I said was G&W Luminous Outdoor Waterproof 12-hour quartz watch. What Luminous is, if you ever seen the glow in the dark hand dials?
Yeah, you leave it in the sun all day and then it
And that's
lights
what
up
luminous
at night.
means. It's got luminous paint on the hand
Yes.
dials. They confused it with the indigo watches that came out there in the late 90s that you pushed a button and it lit
I had one of those.
it
Those
lit
were
up
cool.
the backlight. So my thing is, I'm sitting there going,
They left you good feedback,
it's
though, right?
positive, but my only minor disappointment, and then they act like I advertised it that it was an indigo light up, and I didn't. I said it's luminous. What does luminous
Yes.
mean?
Apparently to them, that means
Apparently,
indigo.
but I would have
Yes.
written indigo, and do you realize that the indigo one model like that is $20 more? I'd have loved to have had the indigo one.
People don't. It's indigo. Exactly.
Because I would have sold it for $20 more. I'm just like, I don't leave feedback like that. I thought it was this, and you said it was. Because I used the word luminous, and you were looking for an indigo watch? Anyway, I just was like, I'll just leave it, whatever. But it's still positive. I'm not going to sit there and ask eBay to remove it because
Why
it's
would you? It's
positive.
positive.
But it's just kind of one of those things of, I hate how when the buyer is, and no offense, but when the buyer is stupid and they leave feedback like that. You got what you paid for, $16.99. And the indigo one's like almost $40. But whatever.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was,
I left my find of the week in the trunk of my car.
oh, you got a find of the week.
Yeah. I got some stuff I went yard sale, but
What are you doing
I
looking
don't
for
feel like going
stuff?
down to the trunk of my car. Because I'm freaking bored, man. And I'm not drinking, so what the hell am I
He's
going
not
to do?
drinking, so he's decided.
Although I can tell you, I got on the scale and I'm down 11 pounds.
Because you hadn't been
So-
drinking?
I think it's no beer. 11 pounds in 2 weeks. I haven't eaten better, but 11 pounds lighter. Maybe I should stay off the alcohol. I don't know. I was thinking of smoking crack because I heard that makes you lose some weight, but I do like the Keith. I don't want to
Well,
lose
there's
the teeth,
that easier
I'll stay
thing
away
now.
from
You can
that.
just do that diabetic shot.
Yeah. My wife is doing that. I don't understand why, honestly. My wife was petite-ish in my mind already. But she's been doing that for 2 months. Every time I go home, she looks different. She's smaller and smaller. The only reason I
that's
weighed
what I need
myself
to
is
do.
because I had to weigh. She's had this fancy scale I got. Doesn't work. But I fixed it
Luminous or indigo?
works. It's not either one. It is some cheap Chinese brand that I bought 3 years ago that I've changed I apparently deleted the app from my phone and the app is no longer available. But it still works in not kilometers, but kilograms. And you have to do but she's lost like 42 pounds and I think she needs to stop. She's like, I want to lose like 20 more pounds. I'm like, I don't understand. But when we got together, she was like 104 pounds. She's not 104 anymore. But she's almost to the point where, so when we got together, I was 260. She was 104. She's lost enough weight that I am still like 3 pounds less than she has since then. That's always been
I
my
don't understand your
fallback.
math there, so
My
I
math
don't
was
think you should
this.
explain. It might get you in trouble.
My math is my excuse has been, hey, I still haven't gained more weight than you gained since we've been together. Percentage wise, it's much less for me. And now that's not going to work because she's going to get
And
back down to
folks,
that 4 pounds.
that will be
Have to go on a
this will
freaking
be the
diet.
end of our podcast because the next time he goes home, he will.
She doesn't
kill-
watch this shit. She doesn't watch this shit. She used to. She's like, you're still doing that? Yeah.
Oh, you're still doing it. Yeah, we're not talking about eBay very often anymore. We talk about eBay in sporadic sprints.
But you know what? That stuff worked. She didn't need, honestly, I never thought she needed to lose weight, but she has lost.
It does work.
It works insanely.
There's side effects on it.
I go home every 3 weeks or so, and now every time I go home, she's like a size smaller. It's like, by the time I get out of Savannah, end up in Tampa, she's just going to be ahead. That's it. That's all it's going to be left. Yeah.
You'll be able to carry her back across the threshold again. Just don't bang her head on the.
I can always carry her across the threshold. That's not a problem. I could pick her up and spin her around.
See, I was always a real little guy, and my wife was always about. She's smaller than I am, but she's, you're talking when we got together, I was 120 pounds, and she was like, or I was 130 pounds, and she was like 120 pounds. So there was like no way I was going to carry her across the threshold. It just wasn't going to happen.
Oh, come on.
I guess I could have put her on my back, but we're going to
throw her over your shoulder. Just hit her with a club and drive her hair and drag her in like a caveman. That's.
She told me I wore her down to get her to marry me anyway, and that's the truth. She kept telling me.
It's true. You were like Stewie.
She kept saying no, and I was like,
fine.
She was like, finally, she's okay, fine. She went out on me just to shut me up and then fell in love with me. And here we are 20-some years later. Because the reason we was out of town was for our anniversary. 22 years married.
Exactly.
So,
that's good.
I won.
You won.
I won.
There you go. You're 2 years past me.
I did. I really did win. And
me too.
If you're watching, you can't have her.
Depends. They got $1 million. I've seen the movie. I cave. But go ahead.
I'd have to have more than that.
That's true love.
You'd have to have more than
175,000, and you let me watch.
I don't know if that's true love or just I don't want anybody else with my stuff. What belongs to me is mine.
It's all right. Let's get back to reselling.
So you had a find of the week. I did not. I could grab one right quick that I'm not showing on here, but nothing real special. I've actually stopped kind of looking because I've been gathering stuff. Like I said, I've got a whole crate over there of stuff that's not even been listed. Plus, I figured out I've got 17 pieces of women's clothing that apparently eBay just deleted. Which I'm told that happens from time to time, that eBay just will delete stuff. Sometimes it just loses it.
I was redoing all my, I had 843 items, and I'm like, okay. I started redoing them, and then someone called me, and then I thought I had done, so I got down to 800, because the 43, I ended up deleting before I reposted, so I'm at 800.
Yeah, and things like that can happen too. I did that the other week where there was like 4 items that I was just like, oh, I thought I've already sold similar of these. I was like, oh. But that being said, I am going to try, I don't know who commented on it maybe, but I am going to try to get this wall filled just a little bit over this week. I'm going to try to finish moving all the items up here. So
that takes us to our comment.
So I can...
Mike Metco, he commented, just checking the comments to see if you responded to my last comment. Guess what? I never made one. LOL. Joel, I was the one who asked about when you were going to.
Well, I'm going to try to.
I thought you would ask it.
I'm going to try to do that, Mike, because I have these racks.
So that he asked me while I was at the thing. He thought he asked on there, but he didn't. So we answered his question by proxy through me.
So, Mike, I'm going to try to do it. It may not happen. I got some other things I got to get done too. But in between work hours, I'm going to try to get that wall there mudded up just so that what I can do is put some paint on it so I can hang my racks for my, I've got these little racks with like pullouts, and I want to put my pocket watches and stuff in there so I can keep up with all that instead of having it, because still need to get more organized. I've got my closet built that's holding all my clothes. So that's the idea. But anyway, I've not been really finding anything. But tell us a little bit about it. I know you said you didn't want to go to the car, but what did you find? What do you think it is? What did you pay for? Yeah, I guess you don't have to get into what you pay for, but because we don't want to give away that kind of stuff, folks, too often.
Give a shit. I'll tell you what I paid for it.
10 cents. It's worth $100,000, but I paid 10 cents for it.
Yeah. I found it was some plastic PVC items, like some Snoopies and some, what was the other one? It was Snoopy, some Smurfs, and some Raisinettes. Like a whole bunch of them, probably like 30 of them that somebody had. They were asking like 50 to 75 cents a piece for them. They offered them $20 for all of them. So I got like 37 of them for $20. So paid less than 50 cents a piece for them.
How much do you think they're actually worth?
I haven't looked that up yet. Some of them are worth like $3 to $5. Some of them are worth like $20. I just got to go through them and see what they're worth.
Though, I'm kind of curious about those, and I'd like for you to report back on this because I have seen some of those. Like, you remember the old California Raisins?
That's why I got some of the California Raisins, some Smurfs, and some
I was kind of curious about those because I looked at those one time and I was like, but I don't know about buying them because I found a whole set of them. I was like, but I don't know. And it was actually the Christmas set, which is neat because it goes along with the California Raisins Christmas cartoon that used to come on. Do you remember that? Way back in the day? Maybe some of our listeners will remember that way back in the day. Maybe I'm dating myself over Ben's here. I don't know.
No, how you going to date yourself over?
But there was a California Raisins Christmas cartoon that came out. What are you doing?
I'm trying to look it up.
All of a sudden, your keyboard got really loud.
It's really loud.
But my thought pattern was, I wondered if somebody would recreate those because there was a couple things. The G.I. Joes, the old G.I. Joes have gone down in value. Not the large ones, but the ones we played with, the little miniature action figures that had the rubber bands in them when we were kids. They've really gone down in value because they have started 3D printing those. And I'm like, see, and that's what bothers me. The original should never go down in value. Just because you can buy a new reprinted one should not replace the value, but it does for some reason. It messes with the value of the originals when they do stuff like that.
Yeah, the California Raisins, like just the plain guys, worth $3 up to some of them. Michael Jackson raisin. I got that. I saw that one in there. That's worth $14.99.
So you're going to want to lock those up, though.
Yeah, I think so. I think, though, there's a few that are worth money that I'll go through and sell individually. The rest of them.
Yeah, if they're worth money as individual. Here's what I'm going to.
Yeah, most of them are not.
As soon as I start getting my store increased more and more, anything under $10, I'm going to lot to 20. That's what I've decided. Anything under $10, I'm going to lot to 20. If I've got an item similar to it, because what I have determined is it costs me more to sell a $10 item than to sell two $10 items at 20. And I know that sounds crazy, but the fees actually, it's like it, yeah.
The shipping. The shipping eats you.
And so I'm gonna boost that because the other thing I've been looking at is how do you increase revenue? You and I talked about buying better items, buying more expensive items. We've talked about that before on our podcast here. And yeah, that's a way, but you could also, I've discovered, you can also lot. Like I've lotted up pocket watches and sold them, the ones that were not worth anything. I lot them together and sell them in 5 for $20 and still make, or 4, whatever, and still make money off of them. Because you get a bunch, when you buy a lot, you're going to get a bunch of I call them Chinese knockoff pocket watches. They're the junk ones that now China's selling and throwing out there for $2 on eBay. It's killing. It's just, I don't know why it doesn't seem like the tariffs on eBay like the tariffs in this country have hit the Chinese manufacturers on eBay. I don't know. Maybe they're just not paying the tariff. Maybe they're not charging it. I don't know.
I have seen, like, when I've looked at some items that it says something to the fact that you'll have to pay.
I wonder if they're having to pay at the port to receive it rather than on eBay? That'd be something to try to find out, because they may be selling it on eBay and shipping it to you, and then you get a tag from customs or an email telling you got to pay this before you can get the item. So it looks cheaper on eBay, but it ends up coming out more expensive. I don't know. Be something to look into. But anyway, I don't know what tangent we got off on there. Oh, talking about recreating. So there you go. You get a PVC 3D printer and recreate that Michael Jackson one while you got it. Sell that one for lotted up 12 of them for $5. Kill the market.
Yeah, there's no
Awkward
I was
silence.
trying to finish something. I got an email. Java replied to it. I thought I can answer it real quick. But
On a
it is
podcast,
much more
man.
content.
Come on.
Hey, I just got an email about
They're
it.
not
I was
going
like,
to
hey, I don't know,
you
take
think
care
they're
of
going to
this.
be reading the email tonight?
I don't know. They sent it to me. Yeah. Fourth quarter's here. Make sure you got all your boxes. Make sure we're talking about the fourth quarter. That's what we're in.
We are actually in the fourth quarter. We have entered. That won't officially crank. The biggest thing is now, let's talk we're going to jump. We need to bring this up again on our next podcast. But let's jump. Since we're in the fourth quarter, let's jump to Cyber Monday. Now, you participated in that on eBay last year, and I didn't. I kind of set it out. But if I remember correctly, you did very well.
I did 20% off everything in the store, and it sold fairly well.
That's like that might be the
I
idea.
don't know that I'll do that this year.
Well, depends on where you're at.
Exactly. And you're busy sucking on that thing.
Why you got to make it dirty?
No, I'm not making dirty. We're in the middle of this conversation, and then it's 11 minutes of you just.
It's not 11 minutes. Maybe 11 seconds. Anyway, and you can carry the conversation a little bit.
I was on another screen. I wasn't paying attention. I clicked back, and I just got to. I'm all over the place, man. I'm like ADD.
We'll do a podcast of me just sitting here vaping. See if that works.
Yeah. Who knows, man? I love the fact that everybody keeps watching us, and this is great. We have not broke through the fourth wall here, but we're trying like hell. But it'll happen eventually.
Well,
Or it won't, because
it probably won't. You and I will probably be like 90. And
yeah. Hey, we finally hit 1,000 subscribers. Now we're making 3 cents a day.
It's a good thing we don't do this for the money, folks.
Exactly. We do this because we are bored.
It's a way for you and I to get together once a week, or usually once a week. And
It
just
is.
kind of
It's
talk.
a good time.
And we enjoy talking about eBay. And that's another thing.
So how was your vacation,
Vacation
man?
was
Do anything
great. Yeah. I slept quite a bit. I went to the beach. I sat on the beach. The beach bores me, but my wife loves it.
Me too.
And we went to the NC Aquarium. That was a big letdown. That is, folks, if you're in North Carolina and you're in the Wilmington area and you decide to go over to the NC Aquarium, that one is a letdown. We went there because it's raining, expected to spend a couple hours there. We were done in 43 minutes and paid like $60. We've been through the whole thing in like 43 minutes and paid $60. My wife was like, I think we got ripped. I'm like, I do too. We drove all the way here. Like, we paid to get on the ferry, rode the ferry, then stopped at the aquarium. That's the whole reason we rode the ferry. So when it's all said and done, we probably had $100 just in riding the ferry and getting there and going in and all that stuff to enjoy 40-some minutes and come back out in the rain. If you want to go to NC Aquarium, it's really nice. Go to the one at Roanoke, because that's the turtle preserve, and it is actually pretty cool. But the one,
Virginia?
Roanoke in North Carolina, Roanoke, it's right close.
Is that the Roanoke where everybody disappeared from originally? Yeah.
It's actually there in Manteo, but they call it the Roanoke NC Aquarium at Roanoke. But it's actually in Manteo, North Carolina. It's actually pretty good because you get to see a lot of what they do with the turtles. Now they preserve the turtles and everything. They don't have that at the one in Wilmington. It's just fish. Just fish. The funny part was I'm there with my wife, my daughter, who was 14, almost 15, and my son, and all of a sudden they're over there chuckling at something, and I'm like, "What are y'all chuckling at?" And my wife goes, "Look at the name of that fish." And even my daughter is chuckling. And somebody named the fish Slippery Dick. That is the name. That's what the fish is called.
It's nothing like catching a slippery dick. I agree with that.
Like, really? But they had a good chuckle about it. So I learned that men are not the only immature creatures out there. Women are too. But anyway, no offense to you ladies. But I had a great time. I had a great time on vacation and was good. I was happy to see that even on vacation, though, because I was still listing stuff even during vacation. So here's one of the things. Okay, so I didn't know about the whole deal where you don't make an offer. Okay, that's good to know. But it was interesting to see that even if you're on vacation, if you're still listing, you're still going to get a lot of traction. You're still going to get a lot of views. And honestly, views is where it's at. You can go look at your numbers, folks. If your numbers are in the red for views, you're going to do worse. It's not rocket science. You're going to do worse that month than you did the previous month. If your views are green, you're going to do better. Just saying, it's not rocket science. We talk about making money part-time. It's not rocket science.
There you go. That's a picture of a slippery dick. Not very big.
He had to look that up. There's one.
There's
Yep.
one. There's a white slippery dick.
That's a green one. There's
a little bitty slippery dick. Okay. I'm sure.
He didn't believe me that there was a fish called that.
No, I just wanted to see what a slippery dick looked.
Is slippery dick better than tricky dick? I don't know. And if you don't know the term tricky dick, then I'm sorry. You probably are not old enough to sell on eBay, so you need to go back to grade school.
Not a crook.
I'm trying to insult anybody. Of course, I will say this. I was not born during his time in office, so I just heard about it years later.
I think I was either. When was that?
No, 70s. Early 70s?
71.
Now we're going to have to look up when Tricky Dick was. This podcast is all over the place, folks. This just tells you we don't have enough material to fill up an hour's worth of your time talking about it. Anyway, so I'll keep talking.
Okay, I got something weird. For Pornhub. Don't look up Tricky Dick, people. I won't share that.
Don't. Do not share that at all.
Tricky Dick at the office. I don't know what that's about, but I'm not sharing that.
Family show, man. Family show. Oh, block that out. We're going to edit that. Richard Nixon. Just Google when Richard Nixon was president. That's what we're trying to figure out. Were you born? Because I wasn't born till 80. So who was elected then? Was that Ronald Reagan or Jimmy Carter? I think Reagan was coming in. Reagan had been elected. Yeah, he was coming in. Carter was what? Wasn't Nixon? Seems like it Ford and then Carter.
Carter was
Ford. Reagan.
I think Nixon was
before, I think, Ford.
Served from 1969 to his resignation in 1974. So I was a year old.
So you were born during Tricky Dick's presidential time.
I was. You know what? That makes.
Anyway, all right. So tell us a little bit more about what you said you've been selling a little bit. Tell us a little bit more about what you've been selling.
So the belt buckle and 2 die-cast cars. That's what I've been selling. Not much, and just a little bit.
Well, now the die-cast cars. Now, which ones you sell? Because you had that one model that sold that was like $100 and some.
Now these are little, like 64. They're the size of a matchbox. Yeah. They are. I bought a whole crap ton of them in a lot. You paid $1 a piece for them, and they are like every racetrack. At every race would do a small car for the race. So it's Dover Downs 1999, Dover Downs 2000. It's all the different years that they did at Dover Downs. It would be like the stock car, the car that would start the race. And then somebody had a whole bunch of them. I bought like 300 of them. I think I bought like 300 of them for like 100. I paid 50 cents a piece for them. And I've been selling them pretty consistently. Because people collect them, so they have them from the races. I get a lot of questions about, hey, do you have this race? Which I usually don't. If it's not listed, I don't have
Because
it.
you've got
But
all those listed, or you don't?
I have them
Are
all
those
listed.
easy
Yeah,
to
probably some to
because
follow.
do they have UPC
Yeah,
symbols on the back of them, or no?
they were easy to list. I would just take a picture of one for that racetrack, and then I would change the year in each one of them. So I had 12 years for, say, Charlotte, and then I would just change it from 1990 to 2000,
Did the car
2001,
not
2000,
change?
all the way down. Yeah, it did change, but it was the same. It's the same car.
So you
It's the
change
giveaway
anything?
car for the
Yeah. So
race.
you never change
No,
anything like, hey,
it's all made by the
change the
same
picture and
person. I just need to
change the
change the
date.
dates. Yeah, I changed the picture of
Yeah.
every one. But when I would, so I'd list the first one and then I'd bring it up, take my new pictures. Then I would change the date and then put the new pictures. And then just, it was very quick. I was able to list all those in one afternoon.
What do you think about
No
what do
AI
you think about
needed.
the new bulk listing feature? Have you used it yet?
On eBay? No, I have not.
I tried it
But
and I didn't find the pricing to be accurate. Ever since they
the
added,
pricing's not accurate on
yeah,
any of
ever
them.
since they added the AI thing in, the accuracy on pricing has gone through the floor. It just AI, the eBay AI sucks. It is terrible.
Cover your air conditioner. Thank you. It's much better. Any of them. I'm going to use Easy Lister when I move. When I eventually get back to Tampa, I had 4,000 plus items. I'm down to 800. The rest of them are all just sitting there. So I have them divided up. And I think if you're going to do that Easy Lister or any,
I got joked on that one. You messed me up there with I'm gonna do the easy lister.
I think with that program and from the people I've seen that are using it and people I've talked to, you need to batch your things. I think if you want to use that program, it's really for more of a full-time lister than what we do. But I have all these items that are already divided up like VHS tapes or DVDs or CDs that I've pulled down that I'm going to go back and just be able to list them very quickly. So my goal with that is when I get back, I think I want to get myself to about 8,000 items listed. And I think once I get to 8,000 items listed, I'll have a steady income, even if they're not great sell-through rate. I have the items. I just need to list them. And I need to get back there to do that.
Now that's an interesting thing because that's been one thing I've been afraid of is batch listing because I've noticed like we was talking about views earlier. So you want your views to always stay in the green. But what I've noticed is you can go in and look at your subcategories too. And so that's why when I try to do listing, I try to list like I may throw out a pocket watch and a lady's coat and a man's polo shirt and all, and I'm trying to list multiple items from different groups and different departments
Yes.
on my eBay store because I want the traction across the whole entire store to be green, not just certain. So do you think that you'll be listing enough to where it won't matter, or do you think you'll be, because that's what I've noticed is you can have, if I'm not listing anything in women's clothing, then it's in the red for the day.
Right.
If I'm not listing any pocket watches, then that whole department's in the red. It's like eBay doesn't push anything. And that's why we used to say you sell what you list, which sounds stupid and sounds forced, dummy. But you and I always knew what that means is you don't sell from the categories that you don't list in. So
Right.
do you think using that actually helps or hurts or doesn't matter, or
I think it doesn't matter.
you think it's better for niche listers?
It is definitely better for niche listers. Like I have a friend that does nothing but books, Beard King. He's able to list. He doesn't have to. So with those AI listers, you have to do like a template that says this is the book or this is the this, whatever it is. It's whatever, belt buckle, whatever. You have to do a template for every single thing. But my thought is I already have this stuff all divided up into its own little niche that I list it, and then it'll work out for that. I know a lot of people, not a lot of people. I've met a few people at the East Tennessee meetup that are big time resellers, been doing it for years. And now they've opened a whole nother store just for media with these listing programs. Like they wouldn't mess with CDs before that sell for $5. But if you can buy them for 10 cents or a quarter and they sell for $5 and you use this AI lister to list them, you can truly list 500 in 2 days. So now it makes it worth their while to play in the $5 item range because they have no time into it. That's where you run into as an everything lister, like you're doing. You do a little one of this, one of this, one of that, one of that, and then the amount of time it takes you to list a CD that sells for $5 takes as long as it does for something that sells for $500. So you start to zone away from that. But with these AI listing tools, especially with media like books, CDs, DVDs, VHS, that stuff's all zoned in. You can do that real quick. So basically what you do is you take 6 pictures of every item. You can do 100 or 1,000 at a time, whatever you want to do. You take the 6 pictures, you push the button, it uploads them, and then it tells you, it does all the background stuff. You don't have to sell similar. It does a great job of that with anything like there's informational Bon Jovi CDs or whatever. They can see a picture of the CD, know everything about it. Or a DVD of Shrek, it'll tell you everything about that DVD. And then all they have to do is the price. So a lot of what they're doing is they take the ones that they know are all common and they'll make them all $5 and then just run them through that system. And then now you can build a media program or a store all around it with absolutely no real effort from your part. So if you buy stuff for $0.25 and sell it for $6 and you have no effort behind it, then that's worth your time. If you're doing it like we've been in the past, where it takes you just as long to do a $6 item as a $60 item, it's not worth your time. Somebody I know took Beanie Babies, which aren't worth anything, but there are Beanie Babies that are worth something. There are Beanie Babies that are worth still $30. So they bought a whole bunch of Beanie Babies. They listed them all at $19.95 and then sold like 20 of the 150 that they put out there because that was a good deal on them. But they had no idea because they bought them all for $0.25. And now they're taking, after 2 months, if it doesn't sell, they're taking them all down to $9.95. And then they sell a few at the $9.95 because they're a good deal at the $9.95. They didn't have to do any research or anything on it. And then the ones that don't sell at $9.95, then they take them down to $5.95, sell what they can, and then they take the rest and donate them. So you could take an item that you know absolutely nothing about. But there's no $40,000 eBay Beanie Babies, but there are ones that are worth $70 to $80 that you don't have to spend your time. If you buy them for $0.25 and sell them for $20 to somebody, you should do that. So I've got like 4 bins of Beanie Babies. I'm going to do that with when I get home. I don't know which ones are worth anything, but same thing with CDs. Like you take all your CDs, you list them at $9.95. Some will sell very quickly because they're worth more than that, but you didn't have to do any research. And then you knock them all down to $5.95 or $4.95, whatever you want to do, the next level. And then if it doesn't sell at that, then you can just donate it. But you could probably get 1,000 CDs and sell 25% of them, make some money, way more than you paid for everything, and then just donate the rest and then drop them all out. I think that's the idea going forward with this. Is if you don't know you don't have to learn everything about an item to make some money off the item. And there's enough meat on the bone that maybe somebody will buy it and sell it on Amazon because they're looking for it, right? So I'm going to try that when I get home. And I'm also going to try some live selling of stuff. Right now, I just feel like I'm in limbo. I just need to find a way to get home.
Okay.
I keep getting job offers that are worth shit.
That's happening to everybody.
I know. Yeah, I had a job offer the other day that's not enough, and then I turned it down. Then I was like, I should have just took that. Even though it's $25,000 less than I'm making, I probably can make it up with eBay sales. So the next cheap one I get, I'm going to take.
I get all these job offers from the Philippines. They want me to apply for a job. It'll say true job. I'm like, okay,
true job. That's good English.
True job. So it's fill out that, and you go to the application. First thing you want: name, driver's license, social security number for tax purposes. Yeah.
That's not.
I wasn't born at night, folks. It might have been night, but it wasn't last night.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think that brings us.
All right. So anything else for this episode?
Brings us to the end of this episode. Had a lot of filler, folks. We appreciate listening to our BS.
Yes. Next episode, we're going to talk about the supplies and items you need to be a good reseller. That's what we were thinking about. So hopefully you guys enjoy the next episode. Joe, anything?
I'm good.
All right, let's end this. Thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful week. Don't take any wooden nickels.